Hello. Hello, everybody. Hope all of you guys are doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today we have Omar Mehtab with us. Thank you so much for joining and saying yes for the interview. I was so honored when you agreed for it. Well, it's more of a conversation and a chat, so feel free to ask any questions to me as well. Let's get started with your introduction from yourself, and then we can kickstart this interview.
Yeah, sure. So my cat's there. So I have a cat, Neo. He's a little troublemaker. But myself, so my name's Omar. I work for BBC Click. I've been working at the BBC for the past 5 years. 5 years, 5.5 years or so. And I do a little bit of everything on there. So I report on there. I also film other people. I produce. And I edit as well. I think everyone on the team is quite multi-skilled, so we all do a bit of everything. And yeah, that's pretty much my day job. It sees me checking out the latest tech, whether it be here in the UK or sometimes flying around if need be. And it's opened up some exciting opportunities, like talking to yourself today.
Oh, it's so amazing. And I feel like for your job, and now that you are really, checking out the new tech today, doesn't it just feel very overwhelming, all of it, like seeing how the tech is just going on? I mean, I was able, with the summer school I was doing summer. So, for me, I was just researching ethical tech, and so many things came up, and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. But that's your job, like researching and checking out new technologies in the world. So isn't that an amazing job to have? Let's get started from the beginning. Not to say that you're old. You're definitely older than 14. You're older than me. Okay. So
I'm 30, so to some people I'm old, but I feel young.
Yeah, and that's exactly how it should be. So how were your early days like? How was your childhood and your teenagers?
My childhood was fairly calm. Nothing special about him. I've got one other little brother, and my parents. We've all lived in the same house for the past 25 years, so most of my life. All happy, I mean, it's a typical, South Asian community that I live in over in East London. And so growing up as well, being surrounded by that, and also growing up in a working class family, it just meant that I was exposed to, different communities. Like, it was a bit of a melting pot over here in the 90s. And also, things weren't totally comfortable. We didn't have money to spare. But as I got older, my mum, who's a makeup artist, started getting more successful. And as that started happening, we, started easing up a little bit. And so with her, she became a makeup artist as a result of just doing what she loved. And that kind of helped shape myself, because the way that my parents taught me was to enjoy work, do what you do, with a passion. And any success or money or anything like that will come with it, but first you've got to enjoy what you do. I didn't entirely take that on board. I kind of thought like, oh wow, all my other friends around me are going to university and they're taking economics or law or medicine. I need to do the same. So I took economics, and then I realized how much that bored me. So I came to my parents after the first year and I said to them, hey, I'm not really enjoying this. I'd rather do English literature. And they said to me, that's absolutely fine. You should always do what you enjoy rather than trying to force it. So then, they were very nurturing and very open-minded about things like that. And so that allowed me to grow in that way. So I went through university. I did English literature. I did a master's in it as well. Not the most employable job in the world, I'll admit. And that came with a little bit of trouble. Where after I was done at uni, I wasn't able to find a job for a good half a year. And then I stumbled into the BBC somehow. So basically, with my mum, because she was a makeup artist, she used to go on BBC Asia Network a few times. And once they got her on, they realized, oh, she's quite gobby and mouthy. Let's get her on more often. She's got an opinion about everything. So during their debate shows, they would get my mum on. And there was one day where my mum was on the phone on air, and she was debating something to do with raising kids. I don't know what it was, but me being about 17, 18 thought, I'm going to be a little, smart aleck here and try and prove her wrong. So I walked in thinking she was on the phone to a friend, and I said, "You're chatting crap. I don't believe a word of this. You're completely wrong about this," not knowing she was on radio. So she turned to me and that look that mums give? Your mum must give it to you every now and again. Yeah, exactly. That, like that, just knowing that I'm going to die. I was like, okay, I'm going to leave the room. So then after that, my phone rings, and it's actually from the radio station. So immediately I pick up and I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to swear. I didn't mean to interrupt." And they go, "No, no, 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 it's okay. We want you to come on air with your mum and debate her on radio." So I did. So then I'm in one room on my phone, my mum's in the other, and we're debating each other on radio. And so they realize after that, hey, he's just as mouthy as his mum. So over the years while I was at university, they used to get me on to do debates on TV and radio for the BBC. And so after I finished university, BBC Asian Network actually said to me, "Hey, listen, you've been featuring with us for ages. We know what kind of person you are. We need someone to cover an employee of ours for a week, just to answer the phones. Could you come in and do that?" And that's how I got my foot in the door. And then since then, it's just kind of snowballed into me somehow being on TV. So.
Well, that's amazing. And I feel like there's always, things that come out of things that just makes up that golden opportunity that you have, which leads to, amazing things in the future. And I mean, I feel like every person could just, be the right person for you. So that's why I really love to connect to people. And that's how I actually got to you as well. Now tell me, how did it come to really, going out there reporting and then also producing and editing and, doing so many jobs right in there?
See, the thing is, I never came into the BBC with any media qualifications. I didn't go to university to study a media degree. I didn't have my NCTJ or anything like that. And so I came in very fresh. So for the first year, I worked at Asian Network and it was just answering the phones. But as I was there, I started to teach myself how to edit a little bit. I started picking up a camera like towards the end. Very little camera work, but just little things, to try and improve me. And funnily enough, you're talking about connections. It was because someone I had featured, a journalist at the BBC. She was at Asian Network. She then moved somewhere else. Her name's Katrin. She featured me on a panel back in 2015, 2016. And so when she saw that I'd joined the BBC, she was like, "Okay, I'm going to try and see if I can get you some shifts in other departments." So I worked at her department for a couple of days, and then she introduced me to Simon, who's the editor of Click. And so talking to Simon, after that introduction, he was quite, I don't know, apparently I impressed him, and he was like, "Cool, you're an all right guy. We've got a round of jobs coming up soon. Do you want to apply for it?" So I said, "Sure, yeah, no, I'll apply for it." So it was like at the bottom level, researcher level for Click. And so I applied for it. I did the interview. It wasn't the best interview in the world. My boss told me. In fact, he told me afterwards it was complete crap. He said, he acknowledged that, I mean, on the day there had been a Westminster Bridge attack as well. So I was busy with that. So I had barely any prep time for the interview. But he acknowledged that, okay, this is your first BBC interview. It wasn't going to be the best in the world. And through his gut, he hired me. And I'm glad he did, because whilst I've been at Click, Simon is great in giving people rope, and giving them trust rather, and giving them chances to try new things, learn new things. So with myself, he realized I had barely picked up a camera already. He said, "Listen, do it. I don't care. Like, go on shoots with other people as a second camera. Whatever you capture is a bonus. Practice as you go out." And so I got given opportunity after opportunity to produce others, to film, to edit. And so it was only after like maybe 2 years worth of doing this that he said to me, "Okay, maybe you can do a report for us." So I did. He said, "Okay, you did pretty well. Good. Let's do that again." And so at Click, it's just been through the grace of my boss, to be totally honest with you. I mean, there are many, courses at the BBC to help you learn how to film, to edit, to present. But he recognized that through the first-hand experience that he could give me through Click, it could really help me grow. And so in 5 years, I'm doing all of this, and I've got to say it's down to, the colleagues around me and my boss that I've had.
Well, that's really wonderful. And tell me more about the flagship tech show that you are working with. I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? So tell us more about that in the audience and your experience.
Yeah, sure. Click. Well, you saw an episode of Click. It's a tech show that goes out on the BBC. It's nearly half an hour long. We produce a show every week, so we're never not busy. Always constantly doing something. I'm balancing about 10 projects on the go. But Click came about back in 2000 when Richard Taylor saw that there was a need for a tech show, a tech focused show, because a lot of the other UK broadcasters here don't have a tech focused show or tech correspondence. And so it got very popular very quickly. Over time, it's evolved. So at the beginning, it focused on stuff like websites, gadgets, and whatnot. And we still do that now, but now we've expanded our remit a little bit. And so we look at stuff like social media, artificial intelligence, cryptocurrency, or robotics, you name it. And it is so popular, actually, that, the show has expanded into other languages as well. So it goes out in Farsi, it goes out in Urdu, it goes out in Hindi as well, in Russian, I think about 16 different languages or so. So it's quite popular, even though before I got the job, I didn't even realize Click existed. But it's there, trust me, it's there. And it's a very cool show to work on. Because we're on TV, it means that whatever we do, we have to focus on the visual. And it kind of helps because at times, we would have a topic like, I don't know, NFTs. I did a report about NFTs, non-fungible tokens, back in March. And to explain what an NFT is kind of boring because it's just like, okay, it's a digital asset, and attached to it is a unique code that makes it so that it's separate from everything else, and it utilizes cryptocurrency. It's all a little bit boring, but then it allows us to be quite creative. So for example, to explain what cryptocurrency was, we hired out a huge hall and used a bunch of people in masks to visually explain it. And even with NFTs, I used the Mona Lisa and Pokemon cards to explain it. So the show is quite fun, and it takes what is, either accessible tech or more complicated tech and just makes it so that anyone and everyone could get in on it and truly understand it. So it's a fantastic show. I really love working on it.
Well, I mean, that's amazing. And I really agree with you on that one. I mean, like a lot of times explaining new things is just like weird. I mean, I remember my dad trying to explain the NFTs to me. It was, let's just say it was very boring. Okay. Sorry, Dad. Love you, but it was weird. But then, with time and with more examples, you can just, get a hang of what it is and how it really, really works. Now tell me your reach. Don't you see that there's a lot of people that are just interested in knowing new things about tech? Because I open YouTube and I see, a lot of different shows and a lot of different, channels that are just, talking about the new technology that's there. So people are really into it, huh? True.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, including yourself then. I mean, I don't know how many tech channels you're subscribed to. I'm subscribed to a few. There's definitely like a lot out there, a lot of choice. And then that's the thing, because tech is ever evolving. There's never any kind of, what's the word? There's never any kind of want for content. We're never left, 1 week saying we've got nothing to put out this week. It's never happened because, tech, especially now, the industrial age for humankind was perhaps one of the most significant, but one of the fastest growing is the technological age that we're currently in at the moment. We've seen advancements in every area and every aspect that are just unbelievable. So it means that we can make fresh content every week. And yeah, there's a huge interest out there, and I'm not surprised why, because it makes our lives more convenient. It enriches us. It helps us evolve and try and push the boundaries in many areas, not just tech itself, but science and food and, sustainability. And so a show like Click is very much needed in that way. And, other YouTube channels out there, I've looked at a few. I'll be honest with you, I'm only subscribed to a few, not too many. You'd think being a tech journalist, oh yeah, he'll be subscribed to anyone, but apart from like maybe Unbox Therapy and Marquez Brownlee, not too many otherwise, because a lot of them repeat themselves. But it is still great content otherwise, and it's still wonderful to see. What kind of channels are you subscribed to then?
Well, there are different types because I share my YouTube account with my brother. So he watches all sorts of things, like, I don't know, like Coca-Cola and Mentos exploding. I've seen quite a few things in my watch history. So I'm like, oh, that's just weird. Now, tell me something. How has COVID really affected your work?
Say that again?
How has COVID-19 affected your work? Is it better than ever? Is it, is the workload less? How has it affected it, your work and the show? Omar, are you there? You're frozen. Omar, are you there?
COVID has, you know what? I really want to say it has severely affected us, but it really hasn't. Because I'll be honest with you, like as soon as we knew that we were going into lockdown, we all got together in a meeting and we said, okay, what are we going to do? We can't go out. We can't go and film with companies. We can't go abroad. How are we going to make content? And then we were like, well, hold on a second. Why don't we just, record the presenters at home sitting at their sofas? We'll get B-roll in from every company and talk about it while sitting in our homes. Or we'll run some packages that we have on the shelf, and space them out a little bit. And so we didn't actually take a break. Like many other shows within the BBC took a break to readjust or weren't able to continue, but we just carried on like normal. We were just like, okay, fine. Obviously, it shaped what kind of stories we would put out there. So, for example, with myself, I had done stories looking at many little things, at different areas of tech. And obviously, a lot of this was experiential, involved going out. But because I couldn't go out, I then focused on stories I had to do specifically with COVID. So I did a report looking at this new dating format that had been created called Love is Quarantine, that had specifically to do with the fact that you couldn't meet up with anyone, and so you had to date via the phone. I looked at how pubs in the UK were using technology to survive because they weren't getting any people in to sell to, and how people who had alcohol problems received help through video calling because they weren't able to have their face-to-face sessions. Tech, how some of them aren't COVID tech, and it's just companies repackaging their stuff and saying, yep, you can use this to, sorry, my internet's a little bit iffy. You can use this to keep social distancing and it will help. But it really didn't. It didn't work out in the end because they didn't actually adjust their product and they were just marketing it, lying basically. And so a lot of our content shifted towards COVID. I'd say in the last few months, that's changed. So where a lot of our content focused on COVID and how it's going to change our lives and stuff, the show's turned pretty much to normal, where last week's show, for example, it was mostly about the metaverse and then mind controlling some machines and stuff, nothing to do with COVID at all. It was quite refreshing, but it certainly helped in the way that we work because now I know fly to, the States or to China or wherever to go and do a piece. I can do it from home if need be. So it's helped open our eyes a little bit and change the way we work.
And I feel like in general, it helped you guys also be more like digital. You could just like work from home, which is super cool.
Mate, I'm at home now. I'm loving it. I woke up like at 5 to 10, turned over, picked up my laptop and started work. It's been the best thing about it. I sometimes turn up to the morning meetings in my pajamas. It's great and no one cares. So we'll probably like go back into the office maybe in a month or two. And even then it'll probably be like once or twice a week. Other than that, if there's no need to be there, then just stay at home and do your work, you know. And it's great, you know, we've got a trusting boss, so he hasn't got to worry about what we're doing. He knows that we work hard and we, you know, get content out. So
Yeah, that's amazing. And I feel like the COVID, and I've interviewed so many people, and even they believe, a lot of them, that COVID has changed a lot of like workplace, I wouldn't say workplace experiences because that just sounds weird, but you know, workplace in general. You could just, you know, you don't have to go in and take a meeting. I mean, I take my school and my classes in my bed, so I feel like it is the best thing that has ever really.
do you actually concentrate though? Are you actually doing your work though? Or are you on your phone or whatever? I'll admit I do that sometimes when I'm in meetings. I just turn off my camera and I just play a game or something. So if you do the same, don't worry about it. You're not going to get in trouble.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, one thing that really gets to me is like there is, you know, again, you're on Teams or whatever you're on, even if you're on Zoom, you could actually open Netflix like right with it in the other tab. I don't think
Yeah.
so that that your laptop should be able to do that, because when you have a new season that's out, or you just started watching something, you holding yourself back is it's just
Yeah.
hard. It's just
No,
hard to
you're
see.
right. To multitask like that will probably take away from the experience a little bit. No, I get what you mean. I mean, that's the problem though, because it can go the other way. Because I've had that as well, where because I'm not leaving the office, and when I leave the office, I leave my work then. Because I'm working from home, it means sometimes I'm working until like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and I don't notice it. And so that's one thing you got to watch out for. With school, I guess it's a bit easier because once, you know, it hits a certain time, the teachers are all gone. But with us, you know, we're just like, oh, I'll do a little bit more research into this. And so it's just meant that in terms of work-life balance, you have to be on top of it yourself. If not, then like for me, I've not really been able to, you know, take any personal time out or anything like that. I can't even remember the last TV series I watched because I would never get time during the evening to watch it because I'm working like an idiot. Although I have taken a step back now, I've learnt my lesson and I've said, okay, I need to take this time out for me. There's no reason why I should be working beyond my hours. Even if it's to get ahead, forget about it. My mental health is more important. So I started watching TV again, which is nice. Ted Lasso. I really recommend Ted Lasso. If you've got Apple TV, do watch it.
Amazing. I don't have Apple TV, but I'll see what I can do by watching. Because anything anybody ever recommends, I have to watch it. Because I mean, I watch a lot of TV shows, and I've just started watching Suits, and I can't get over it. So,
Oh, I got into that a few months ago. Okay, whereabouts are you in Suits?
well, right now, Jessica just found out that Mike Ross is like, he has not, you know, gone to any school. But right now, Hardman just joined back. Like, you know, Daniel Hardman, he just joined back. I'm literally on that episode.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, I'll be honest with you, for some people, like towards, because there's 9 seasons, like towards season 7, some people start to turn off. Trust me, power through because there's some great episodes out there. I'll be honest with you, Harvey will forever remain my favorite. Flipping love him, and you'll love Lewis Litt more as you go along as well. I know he's a bit of an arse, but trust me, you'll love Lewis.
I love Lewis. I already love Lewis. I don't know, he just reminds me of so many people in one. I used to work with, of course, I never worked in a firm or anything, but I used to work with somebody that was exactly like Lewis. Just even the way that he talks, I mean, it fuels me. It's just amazing. But no, are you through all of it? I believe there's 9 or 10 seasons. I should be watching it because whenever I'd go through my Netflix, there just be this super cool, intro that it play. So I just love that one. Man, I'd give you the 25,000 as a signing bonus. I think that just like I gotta do this. That and Meghan Markle. So.
That is a flipping dream. Yeah, Meghan Markle's great in it as well. She obviously, while she was doing the series, she got married, didn't she, to Prince Harry? So I remember as soon as I finished watching it, I started Googling everyone, and I was like, and then I saw how everyone from the cast turned up to the wedding. I didn't even notice that. Seeing them now, it's also cute. It's also nice, honestly. They thought about bringing it back. I know they did a spin-off of Pearson, but that only lasted for 1 season. But people are like begging Suits to come back, and I'm not surprised if it happens because it's flipping great. I honestly never get tired of it. But do enjoy it. Let me know what you think after you're done.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's probably the longest thing I've ever started watching because I used to watch Grace and Frankie, and it's on season 7 now. The one thing I totally hated about season 7 was that 4 episodes came out. Now I'm sure that 4 will come out and then 4 will come out again. So like because they're always like 13 episodes, then they're gonna do this finale or something. So yeah, it's just hard to just be like, when is it coming out? Because I just lose myself for a few days. I practically hibernate without hibernating. So that's how. But what else do you watch? I mean, I think you've got great taste.
Oh, what else? I'm trying to think.
Do you watch
like
Netflix?
I do watch Netflix. I'm trying to think of what Netflix. Let me check. Hold on, let me bring up Netflix. I just, like I said, because of work, I rarely get the time to actually like dedicate myself to a series. I'm trying to watch Vikings at the moment.
I've heard it's nice. I've heard it's nice.
Yeah, I've heard lots of things as well. Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot is fantastic. It's a little bit long, but it's great. I'm trying to get into Rick and Morty because people keep telling me to.
Oh yeah, people keep telling me Rick and Morty is amazing, but I don't know why I find it a little bit weird.
I think, yeah, I'm gonna wait for the hype to die down a little bit before anything, just because I don't want people to be like constantly hanging over me.
Did you get a chance to watch Lucifer? Season 6 just dropped.
Can't. No, is Lucifer still going?
Yeah, Lucifer. This is the final season.
Oh, okay. I'll put that on my list then. Screw it. I need something else to watch after Ted Lasso.
Yeah, the
yes.
thing with that is the first 4 seasons, amazing. The 5th and the 6th season, however, I mean, the 6th season honestly just broke my heart. I expected it to be way better, which reminds me, my dad, before uploading the recording, if you're watching the Lucifer thing, we'll talk about it later. I get it. Lucifer is 18 plus and all, but let's talk about it later because my dad's like very strict about these ratings and all, but I've got friends that watch way worse, so that's my only support.
Yeah, I used to be the same. I think I was playing GTA when I was like 10, so don't worry about it too much. It's fine. Yeah, no, but I'll put Lucifer on the list and I'll start watching that as well. Ted Lasso. I'm saying Ted Lasso so much because I really, really highly recommend it. It's just so wholesome and so nice and kind. You know what? The only other series that I watch, which is like my all-time favorite, which gives me that same kind of feeling, is Parks and Rec. Have you seen Parks and Recreation?
I haven't. Where is it on? Because I used to have like Prime, but I don't have that anymore.
Oh, you don't have Prime? Oh no. Let me see if it's on Netflix. Well, it depends if it's on Netflix over there. If you can find some way to watch it, do watch it. Yeah, it's again like maybe the first season is a little bit slow, but then after that, it's just like gorgeous. It's very similar for a little bit. It's very similar to The Office, but then it finds its own identity, and it becomes something totally different, and just really nice and heartwarming. So
Did you get a
I don't know how we
chance?
got onto films and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, but no, I counted until 150 Bollywood movies, and then I lost count. I lost count after 150 because I watched too many. I watched so many shows and movies and all. Which reminds me, did you get a chance to watch the new David Copperfield that came out?
No, David Copperfield.
The new one that
What,
came
the
out, it came out on Prime. It was on Prime and a couple other.
Yeah.
I believe it was also on Roku. I didn't get a chance to watch it. It had that Dave Patel. It's starring Dave Patel. I love that guy. He's an amazing actor.
David Copperfield, the
Yeah.
magician.
Well, it came out. Yeah, it did.
Huh? Oh wait, hold on. Let me just search this.
Yeah, search it up.
Personal history. Oh, the personal history of David Copperfield.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know this was a thing. Okay.
David Copperfield was a novel that I read in 3rd grade, which I believe I shouldn't have, but it was based off of Charles Dickens. It was in our syllabus. I couldn't do anything about it.
Brilliant. Okay. Yeah, no, I'll give it a watch then. Put that on my list again. Amazon Prime, so I'll put it on there. Great. So much to watch. This is the thing. Well, now the thing is, now that we're starting to travel again, I think I'm going to Sweden in 2 weeks, and then the week after that, I'm going to Slovakia. Sweden, I don't know what we're filming, but in Slovakia, we're filming a flying car. So usually during these trips, I just download a whole load of stuff and just binge it on the plane or in the hotel room. The flying car thing is cool. I've been chasing it for the last year now. Just because of COVID, we haven't been able to go out there and film it, but now we're finally able to. It literally is a flying car. The wings are retractable so that it can be a normal road legal car. And then when you get to like a highway or an airport or something, the wings come out and it flies. It's mental. So we're actually going to go inside it. So it should be fun.
It should be. Oh my God, that's so amazing. It's literally like, I mean, whenever we talk about, and this is usually kids and like what I've heard in TV shows and all. Now you get where I'm coming from when I'm saying most of the things, TV shows. But flying cars, when we think about technological advancement, is there flying cars? I mean, it's amazing. Well, I mean, you get to travel a lot, but like roughly how many countries have you traveled with your work? Because I've only gone to Thailand when I was 6. There's no use of going to Bangkok when you're 6. There's no use. So
I was just thinking that as well. Like you're gonna have to wait another like 12 years before you can enjoy anything. Where have I been? So I've been Vegas the most. I've been to Las Vegas about 6 times now, going again in January. I've been to LA, I've been to Vancouver, I've been to Toronto, I've been to Switzerland, Germany, France, Norway, Sweden, Slovakia soon, Spain, Italy, so many that I can't even remember, honestly. It's just ridiculous. And then hopefully soon we're going to be going to the Far East. Like this is the thing, because there's so many trips that need to be made, like different parts of the team go to different areas. So I haven't gone to the Far East, for example, to Japan as yet. I'm really trying to get on that trip. But I think before COVID, I was probably traveling abroad maybe once every 3 weeks, maybe. I would go on a trip abroad for a few days. And yeah, it's a lot of fun, but at the same time, just because of the nature of our job, it means as soon as we land, we're working. We might land the night before, get some sleep, wake up in the morning, go and film all day, and then go to the airport afterwards. Or it might be the case like with Las Vegas, for example, we usually get a day where we can have a bit of a break and enjoy ourselves, go to the casinos or go to like the strip or whatever else. So yeah, I'm well traveled, but I don't realize that I'm well traveled just because I'm in and out a lot. It's a lot of fun though still.
Yeah, but always keep that in mind. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, so let it be there. No, but I think Well, at this point in time, there's so many movies based on it. There was this super cool movie, but there's some movies based on like, like a night in Vegas or something. There's no point of what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas anymore. Because you hear somebody's going to Vegas, we're like, ooh la la, you're going to
Yeah,
Vegas.
it's an open secret. You know you're going to get up to no good. I wish I could say the same. This is the thing. When we go to Vegas, we're behaving ourselves. We're not, out gambling or drinking or anything like that. We're usually up at 1 o'clock in the morning editing because whatever we filmed has to go back to England because of the time difference so that I can get ready for that show that weekend. But that might change. I don't know. The thing is, Click is actually, I don't know if you know about this, probably not, but the BBC is doing some changes. So a lot of departments, they're moving it to different areas of the country. So they're moving Click and the tech department up to Scotland. They're doing it because they need to diversify where different departments are. But it means that the majority of Click can't go. And so the majority of us are leaving Click by this time next year. So this trip to Vegas that's coming up in January is going to be the last time that I'm probably going to go to Vegas for Click. But it should be a lot of fun anyway, and I'll probably enjoy myself a little bit more. Who knows? The next time I talk to you, maybe I'll have a few stories to tell. But most of the time, it's going there, filming, working 18-hour days, and then coming back. So, I wish it was more glamorous. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. But for me, I feel like it feels more like, oh my God, it must be super fun. Because I mean, I don't get to travel for my work. Well, my dad, he travels a lot, but we travel within the country. We don't travel outside of the country. That's the thing. But for, by the time it becomes a normal thing, like, first of all, I'm like, oh my God, I have an interview. At this point, I've done so many, I'm like, oh my God, I have an interview. So, I feel like just how you don't realize, but you sometimes take it for granted and all. So I get it. It happens with things that you get used to.
I love that you understand that. Thank you. You know what? Because I feel bad every now and again. Like I went into work a couple of months ago, and a mate of mine really wanted to go inside, and I'm just like, it's just an office. But I took him inside with me. I showed him around. He loved it, and yeah, I realized then, I really take this for granted. I work at one of the biggest news organizations in the world, and it is actually a fantastic building. It's just you become a bit desensitized after a bit. But I guess, that just means that you probably got to move or, shift around a little bit and, try out something new. So, the job I do is fun, but I realize to go up in my career to probably just keep it fresh. You've got to move around a little bit. No job is 100% perfect. I mean, this job is probably the most fun in the BBC. I can't think of one that's more fun. Yeah, I do think that, as great as this job is, just for your own sanity, you're going to have to probably do a little bit more than just stick in one place for a while. A lot of the people on Click have been here for like years, though. Some people get comfortable because it's very easy to get comfortable here. It's such a fun job and you're constantly doing something new. Why leave? But, I guess it's down to each person. I guess that's down to yourself as well, depending where you go in the country and stuff. I mean, I haven't traveled much around the UK. I've only been Pakistan once as well. And when I went, it was to, most of my family are from Lahore. So it was to go to Lahore and, chill with them for a couple of weeks. I really wish I explored more though. I think I'm going in February with some family. If I do go, where should I visit?
I mean, there's a lot of places I can tell you, but then there's a super famous ice cream place. I'm going to text you the name whenever you need me to. That's so famous. It is very close to my heart because my dad used to go there when he was in college and all, just to go there and eat ice cream with friends. Because and the same thing is with me. I travel a lot within the country. So I was with my cousins for the last month or two. And we went to Lahore. We went there just for like one day. And they were like, oh my God, we're going to Lahore because, they came from New York and for them, it was a huge thing. They have never been to New York, Lahore before. And when I went there, I'm like, I used to come here 2 times a year, like every 6 months. I love this place, but I'm too used to it. I'm like, I come here a lot. So yeah, it has become more of a routine, but there's a lot of places you can visit. I got a chance to visit the Shahi Fort and the Bachai Mosque and every place. And they've done some wonders with the National Museum. They've made, new VR experiences and new audio visual experiences. So they said that they've done a lot of work there. And I feel like they will do more until February, because I did hear a lot from friends in Lahore that they've been really working towards getting more, local tourism as well, than, just getting people from other countries to come. That's not really, really the main focus. Other people that live there should also be interested enough to come and, give it a nice look.
Well, definitely next time I'm there, then first thing I'll do is message you, find out where to go, what to do. I'll leave it in the hands of your expertise and your opinion. But yeah, I'm so sorry to do this, but I've got a meeting at 12 o'clock I have to get to in a few minutes. I will have to go in a minute, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's
is there
all
anything
right.
else that you need to know?
Yeah, this is the last thing I'd like to ask you is, what is the advice that you'd like to give out to all the people that are watching this today?
Do you know what? I think I'm living proof that, there's no one set way to get into whatever you want to get into. Obviously, there's like highly specialized things like medicine. But aside from that, if you want to get into journalism, if you want to get into presenting or entertainment, if you want to get into just, marketing or sales or whatever you want, there's no one set way. I haven't got any media qualifications yet. I am where I am because of the work that I put in. And so don't be discouraged if, for example, your friends are getting, slightly ahead of you career-wise, or, if they went about things a certain way, or if they went to university and you didn't. It doesn't mean that your path is any lesser. It just means that your path is different. So it's, so as long as you put the hard work in, so as long as you take the time out to learn, to experiment, and do what you need to do in order to find your own way, to find your own style, you'll be absolutely fine. Don't let anyone discourage you in that way. And yeah, if anyone does want any further chats or advice, feel free to get a hold of me on LinkedIn or whatever. I'm more than happy to have a chat.
Yeah, thank you so much, Omar, for coming today. It was amazing chatting with you. We went from all for like tech career things to then right into the world of suits and into Netflix and like all places we could from Vegas, but that stays in Vegas. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. If you have any follow-up questions and everything, just feel free to get me on LinkedIn, get a hold of Omar on LinkedIn as well. So thank you so much and goodbye.